Being with God is owned.
Yeah, we've kind of lost our...
That's okay.
Yeah, it is.
He's more focused on leaving that parish now.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, he's tackling that. I have learned the art
I don't think this is what we're drinking.
Is that what we're doing? Lavazza?
Yeah, we're mostly that.
Oh.
We used a little bit of something else that was running out, so.
Smells good.
We're our own blenders at this point. It sounds dangerous, doesn't it?
It does.
I was a blender once.
Human blender? Totus Tuus?
Is that a thing?
It is at Camp Tekakwitha.
Oh.
Well, and we got most of our skits from Totus Tuus, I think. So.
Really?
Yep.
Thieves.
Yep.
That's okay.
Yep.
I'm okay with
I
that.
stole his coaster.
Taking it.
Let's do a candle lid, dude. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, something like that. That's fine.
I don't know. Stuff.
Stuff and stuff.
Good morning, Dad. Papa, good morning, Selena. So, in my family, we never called my dad Dad for whatever reason. My oldest three did. My oldest three sisters did. But my next three siblings did not. They called him Papa, and so I've always called my dad Papa.
Let's see.
Yeah, so even to this day, we all call him Papa.
That's great.
Uh-huh. The oldest three still call him Dad, and so when I say Dad, it feels very strange.
Please, Dad is my dad.
Please,
Call
Dad is...
me Papa.
Well, it's because my family, we are his, hers, and our situation, so I've got 8 siblings, but the first 2 are my mother's with her first husband, then the next 3 are my father's with his first wife, and then the next 3 are the 3 of us.
Oh, I see.
And we all lived in the same house together, but so we all we really don't make distinctions in the family between different groups. Like
Gotcha.
technically, I have 6 half siblings, but we never talked about that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That was never a reality. We were all just siblings.
Siblings.
Most of us look enough like each other that. Now the middle 3 certainly look the most distinct because their dad is more dark skin tone and things like that. But,
Oh, okay.
their last name is also Solano.
So.
Yeah. But so this was a crazy thing. I always thought I had half Mexican sisters, and I found out that I don't have half Mexican sisters. I believe the heritage, and Miss Lane, if I'm wrong, please tell me. I believe the heritage of you all is like Spain Spanish somehow,
Spanish.
along with Native American blood. So it's like Hispanic. Oh no! I press that button. I promise.
Press it twice. Press it twice. Or
Darn it.
and we're live.
I got the fireside chat going.
Fixed it. So if I'm wrong about your heritage, Lena, please tell me. But
All right, well, welcome everybody.
But I was-
yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
no.
Carry on.
No. I always used to in like two truths and a lie say like one of my truths would be I have three half Mexican sisters, but I was wrong.
It was also a lie.
It was a lie. I didn't realize it though.
Now we
One
Spanish,
more
French,
than two lies.
Indian. Yeah, you see, I don't get it. Spanish, French, Indian.
Spanish, French, Indian.
Whoa, we are bright.
Yeah, we are bright.
I'm gonna-
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just shining a little too much today.
Stop.
Shine, Ashmore, shine. Let your light come to shine.
And now my soul's full of darkness because I heard that song.
What is that?
Shine, Jesus, shine.
It's one of the favorite songs we use at the youth mass or the children's school mass.
High school.
And you're not a fan, huh? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I'm not a fan. It's just
From what I've heard, I'm not a fan either.
Yeah, well,
it's fine.
it's fine. It's a little dated, I think. I used to love that. You know, so, you know, talking about our histories, one of my stories of getting into the priesthood was going to these kind of charismatic prayer things, and there was a gathering that happened at Hayden High School. I think it was Sunday evenings, and we sang some songs, and that was really impactful for me in my discernment to be a priest. So I always kind of have a soft spot in my heart for a lot of those songs I sing, "Shine Jesus Shine," or the Isaiah one, the Isaiah 51 or something like that.
I
Or
don't know that one.
yeah. So all those I kind of have, or the pop. You are the potter, I am the clay.
I do not know that song.
Okay. Anyway, so that's kind of a soft spot in my heart. But your story is quite different. That when you were in your formational years in high school, that you really gravitated towards the more traditional, and that was really a piece for you that really inspired you. So
everybody's story is a little different.
right. So I mean, I mean, some of those songs might be a little bit cheesy now, but they are part of what got me to where I am too here. So,
Right.
so I kind of have a soft spot for "Shine, Jesus, Shine," some of those old praise and worship songs. So yeah, I really went through a kind of a praise and worship phase, and that was very helpful for me. And then I mostly moved out of it. But that is a very important phase for many people, I think.
Yeah. I think I kind of
like for
went through
camp
that.
too. You know, that's those songs. And I love going to the camp and when celebrating Mass at Camp Tecawitha, and just everyone singing gusto, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, a lot of those songs have a place in my heart as well. So a lot of the
Mhm.
camp songs.
Yep. So very good. Well, how are you doing? This is, as Karen or Lauren said, this is the last Friday. That's a sadness. It's the last
true.
Friday of the Fireside Chat is today.
It's true.
Because next Friday I have a funeral, so I can't be here for next Friday. And then next week we are Monday through Thursday, and then we're doing something different the following week. We're going to do something, right? We're doing something.
We are. Yes.
We're
Something.
Yes.
I'm trying to make sure we're gonna do something. We don't know what that is yet, but we will do something to continue to be here weekly. That's the plan anyway, for the community. That we will not completely abandon you.
No.
But I know that
we are leaving our advocate behind. John.
That's
is our
right.
advocate.
Because I know that people have. This has been a very important piece for a lot of people, and especially during the lockdown and everything. And
We've enjoyed it too.
well, yes, absolutely. But just situation has changed a little bit. Now it's possible that we could go into another lockdown and another stay-at-home order.
And then you know what that means? Fireside Chat 2.0.
That's right.
The Fireside Chat strikes back.
Very good.
Or
Revenge of the fire.
Yeah, Revenge of
Fireside
the
to
Chat.
Attack of the
Attack of the Chat.
I'm sorry.
Attack of the Chat.
You'll have to change locations. It'll be your season 2 location.
Oh, that
right?
is true. We can get We can have a theme song.
You guys need to get like super hipster
Yes.
haircuts as well. Maybe grow out a beard.
Ooh.
I have changed my haircut since the beginning of the coronavirus.
Oh, okay.
Because before the coronavirus, I was more I just buzzed more.
Okay.
But then somebody offered to cut my hair, and I just let them cut it however they wanted, and they gave me this cut back.
Nice. It's a nice. It's a nice look.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have not changed my haircut.
I've not had my haircut.
Have you not had your in the
No.
entire coronaness?
No.
That's impressive.
It's been since February. So.
Good job. Well, I fully approve of growing your hair out, especially during these times. My first year of seminary, first year of pre-theology, I grew my hair out down to my shoulders. Had a beard.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Nice.
I am so glad I didn't see that. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Oh man, no, get that image out of there.
I can show
That's
you an image
bad.
if you like.
That's bad. No.
Well, you know, as us baldies, you know, we sometimes have to go through that last phase, give it a last go.
One last
you know,
whirl.
One last roll, because I
No.
won't be able to do that. But see, at least I cut it, because that'd be the worst if I like still had like long hair going that
That would be bad.
bald on top,
Little pigtail in the back.
picked. So yes, I at least had some sense to get my hair
That makes
cut,
sense.
but yeah, because I never felt like I really had the liberty to do that. Also, as being an actor, and you kind of had to be you cut your hair for the show or whatever, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
long hair generally didn't work for the shows that you're going to be doing, and so you had to. So I thought, I'm not acting anymore. I can have a little bit more freedom and let my hair grow out a little bit.
Interesting.
So yeah.
I never really had that urge.
To grow out your hair.
No.
Well, that is
It's a very youthful thing. I kind of grew out
It's
my
a
hair a
youthful
little bit
thing.
longer when I was 14, 15, but not that long.
But those were the Bieber days, and
What's that?
those were the Bieber days.
I never had the beaver, no. Did you have the beaver?
Not really.
Not
I mean,
really?
kind of.
I mean, everybody kind of had a little bit of the
Yeah,
beaver
yeah.
at that point.
Are you talking about the Bieber?
The
Yeah,
beaver.
the
Justin
Bieber.
Bieber?
Justin Bieber, yeah.
Okay.
Not the beaver.
I don't know to leave it to Beaver, or what do you?
So the beaver was that swoosh on the side, you know, kind of like
Oh,
an
picture.
updated bowl cut in a certain way.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then all the kids' hair got in their eyes, and they'd be like
Yeah.
this constantly.
Well, this Bieber is still in. People still do the Bieber.
There's a bit of the swish still in,
Yeah.
but it's not the full.
That's what the middle
full-
school kids are doing all the time.
This is
Okay. Oh, kind of, and then it's kind of combed forward.
Yeah, that is prime Bieber.
Oh, that's good beaver
Okay.
right there. So, yeah. But you know what's interesting? I've been asked twice in the last 2 or 3 weeks whether I've lightened my hair. And I just want to let you guys know that it is part of blonde life that your hair gets lighter in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so my hair color is lighter during the summer and it's darker during the winter because the sun bleaches it.
Yeah, that's pretty typical.
So I'm not coloring my hair. I'm not going through a young priest life crisis. It's just the sun, I promise.
Yeah, my hair used to do that too when I had more on my head. Darker in the winter and lighter in the summer. Just notice two of you are. We always have our priestly dress on for the fireside chat. I think.
This is true.
You do not have to be churchy dressed to participate. We can't see you at all, but you can see us.
You can if you'd like. It's fine.
That's right.
This is not a liturgy, though.
That's right. You can do whatever you want. But we did come from church. Now I don't have sometimes I have my slippers on for the fireside chat, but I did come from church today, and I don't usually wear my slippers at church. So
Neither do I.
But maybe people have been doing that during the quarantine, and they come to church with their slippers on, and there's a perk of this time that you can watch the mass from your home with your slippers on. So, but so we are in churchly dress. This is what I think I've worn this outfit for every fireside chat.
I think you have, yeah. As have I. I mean, I've worn some variation of this.
Right
so.
now we sometimes have our sweaters on when it's sweater weather.
This is true. No longer is sweater weather, so let's take a moment of silence for sweater weather.
Today inside. Today inside is sweater weather.
Well,
Please.
but yeah, then you are usually cassocked up for mass,
Right.
And I don't own a cassock, so I'm not I'm not cassocked up for mass. So, but yes, we are a little churchy there. So let me say, where's our bag? Where's our lavaza?
Oh, I hit it for some reason.
I don't know why you hit it. Yeah, so let me go over here to the
Did not mean to.
camera for a moment. So today we are drinking the... Hello, there's John back in the camera. He's... here's Lavazza again. We are on a Lavazza kick. It's perfetto, so why mess with perfection? So we are drinking Lavazza again. Thanks again to my sister Kristen, who gave this to me to celebrate my priesthood anniversary. And then hello to my nieces. So hello there, Rachel and Rosalie and Laura. I hope you're having a great day. Special shout out today to Allison, who is celebrating her 6th birthday today. So happy birthday, Allison. I hope that you have a wonderful day, that it's filled with all kinds of fun things in your day. So happy birthday to you. I hope it's great. So, John, do you want to say happy birthday to Allison?
Allison, happy birthday.
Father Ashmore, do you want to say happy birthday to Allison?
Hi, Allison. Happy birthday.
Awesome. So, I hope it's a great day. So, we will go back.
So, Allison, you know what something is interesting? You know what's interesting? I turned 6 once too. I was 1/6.
30 years ago.
John, were you 6 at one point?
I think so.
I was also
I've always
6
been an
once.
old soul, though.
You, the two of you, yes. you both claim old soulness.
Old soulness.
What can I say?
I'm not sure if I've ever claimed old soulness. Maybe once, but maybe once I thought I was an old soul, but I'm just immature. So drinking out of my thanks. Kathleen gave me this cup. She gave me my Sprout cup too, but this is my Big Hug in a Mug Wallace and Gromit cup. And if you haven't seen Wallace and Gromit, by the way, they are great. Have you seen Wallace and Gromit?
Yes.
No.
Sadness.
I'm surprised.
Is it a TV show? Is it a movie?
It is a short. So it's about 35 minutes or so.
Okay.
Well, now, I guess I haven't seen Wallace and Gromit in years.
We have some Wallace and Gromit VHSs.
Yeah.
at home.
Yes.
So.
Yes, I think I do too. So originally there were 3 Wallace and Gromits. The first one was decent. The second 2 were brilliant, and I think that they were up for like Academy Award or something for shorts or animated short or something. They're stop motion, so you might like it.
I'm surprised you don't hate it.
I love stop motion. There's just that particular brand that has a weird vibe to it with the Isle of Dogs and the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
There
Just
is
a weird.
Yeah, there is something a little rough about it.
Yeah.
Especially with the Isle of Dogs, a little rough. Too much rough.
Rough.
Father Ashmore bringing out the dad jokes today.
There we go.
It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Oh, very good.
Cheese,
Gromit?
Jeez, Gromit.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit are great. Yes, Nick Park is great. But so those I think they've had some more episodes. I'm not even sure if I've seen them, but I was.
There was a feature-length film back in 2004, I think.
Oh.
Really?
Yes, there was, and it was decent. I think it's better shorter, and because also what's brilliant about it is there's a very very little dialogue. It's all because Gromit the dog does not speak.
Yeah.
Just Wallace.
As is fitting.
Yes, but he does do other things that normal dogs don't normally do. But
Like what?
like prepare breakfast, read the newspaper.
Did your dog not do that growing up?
No. Did yours?
I'm gonna have to have a discussion with
But the penguin one is brilliant, and the sheep one are brilliant. I think there was an offshoot then of Shaun the Sheep that came out of Wallace and Gromit.
Shaun the Sheep. Yes. Yes. A
Because
couple
he's
of years
Shaun,
ago.
see?
Like 2012 or something.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, those original,
Shaun.
well, the second and third ones of the original ones were just brilliant. Yeah. So
Cool.
Wallace and Gromit. Curse of the
Wallace.
Were-Rabbit was the movie, I believe, is Javina
Oh.
saying.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Which, yeah, again, I think I saw it, and I think I thought it was decent. And I think it was just, sometimes those things that work really well on a smaller scale, when you expand them into the feature film,
Yeah.
don't always translate well. like some of those Saturday Night Live skits or whatever. I've had some.
I suppose that's probably true. Yeah.
Some have been really pretty funny and classics. Like Wayne's World, I think was a pretty good movie adaptation of a Saturday Night Live running skit, but some of them have been really pretty bad, I believe.
I'm not
Even bother to see.
familiar enough with those.
Yeah, but yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what are some more other those like TV shows that have gone to the movies?
For you 90s kids, there is a classic of the Rugrats
The
movie.
Rugrats movie. There you go. There's an example. How was the Rugrats movie?
At my 7-year-old self loved it.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
liked it as a child too.
Exactly.
How about your 6-year-old self?
I don't know if it was out at that point. I don't know when the Rugrats movie came out. Someone look that up. When was the Rugrats movie came out? I remember they went to New York City, I think. Was that true? The Rugrats?
I went to
Or-
Paris.
Yeah, they went to Paris in
somewhere
the
else.
second film. The first film. I
Oh, there was
believe-
2. There
Oh,
were 2.
yes.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I think Angelica had a whole song. What was that? Like Vacation. All I Ever Wanted was like a. Angelica was featured in that.
For you 80s kids, there's the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
I don't know this one.
For you 2000s kids, which is maybe just me,
Different decades here going
well,
the
on.
Jimmy Neutron movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that was
Talking
just
about that.
slightly under me. Yeah, I remember.
That's
I
way below
remember
me.
it, but it didn't. It was not part of my.
Yeah, I don't think it's great either. So.
Yeah. And then there was the. I think did we talk about the Transformers movie? That was terrible.
Yeah, I think we.
Yeah.
I think we.
Yeah. And then the He-Man. I guess there's a new He-Man Masters of the Universe show coming out.
Oh.
Wow.
So yeah, those were big. Here you go for you 80s kids. But yeah, that Transformers movie, sad. And then
Good old Nickelodeon.
yeah. There was that pet rat one that ended up in the sewer. Pet rat.
Stuart
one.
Little? No.
Rugrats movie.
The pet rat one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so someone else can help us out on that one. I'm not sure what that one would be.
I was 5.
Rat. Oh, a Ratatouille? That one?
That's the opposite. The sewer rat ends up as a pet. Kind of.
Okay. All right.
Not really. But
That might be, maybe it's Ratatouille, but I think that's Pixar.
it is Pixar.
Yes.
Yeah. But that was good. We saw it in the theater, and I don't think I've seen it since. but it
Okay.
was good.
So one last shout out for 90s kids. Hey Arnold.
Nice.
Hey Arnold was the best 90s Nickelodeon TV.
I remember it being good.
It was fantastic. Good morals. They made a movie. I don't remember if the movie was any good.
I don't remember the movie.
So, yeah, we have been talking about cartoons this morning.
There you go. It was videos. Yes, we got our video conversation cut
Right.
short.
So, with the music videos, we did watch the Total Eclipse of the Heart yesterday.
It was brilliant. Brilliant.
Whoa. I have seen that before. I forgot about how utterly weird that movie is. That
Yeah.
video is.
Mm-hmm.
It tops the scale.
Yes. Well, it was weird, but as I was responding here, as you said, called me Mr. Positive of everything, and yeah. Father Mark Murda says you like everything. And it's kind of true. And then I sometimes get accused of being too positive sometimes, which is sometimes to my detriment. But anyway, because I like everything. But I always look for what's the good here. So that whole video, I believe, is a dream sequence, and she's a teacher at this all boys school or whatever.
Right.
And so it's. I mean, I grant that it's still weird, but one of the things that they did not tell me about in seminary was the weird dreams that you would have as a priest. That was not something that I was expecting. And I don't know if you've had weird dreams. I don't know if you have
No,
weird
not
dreams,
really.
but I have weird
I
dreams
don't dream
sometimes.
much.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
I have some weird dreams sometimes. And, I mean, people...
I have dreamed a dream of days gone by. Other than that.
Yes, well, that's a side note there that I might get to in a second.
Oh.
But, I mean, people... I think dreams are often a process of... You're processing what you were doing throughout the day or whatever. You're filing stuff or whatever your brain needs to do during sleeping and dreaming. But so it's not surprising that priests have dreams also, and it's not surprising that they are weird. At least that's been my experience. You know, you show up for mass and you're missing your chasuble, or you forget part of your homily, or you weird things are happening. People are coming up and doing liturgical dance or whatever going on at mass or whatever. So there's sometimes weird dreams. So that's what resonated with me there is I imagine teachers have weird dreams too. And if
I bet.
all of the at the boys' school, if you've got the ninja club and you've got the people sitting around the fancy table club and you got whatever, all that gets mixed into this crazy the swim team, all these things get mixed into these crazy dreams. So
Turn around.
granted, it's weird, but
Turn around.
that's what so there we go. So anyway, what are your favorite? So we got a little bit cut short on our talk about music videos. Any of your favorite videos, or not Ratatouille.
Bright eyes, turn around.
I don't know what the rat. Still don't know what that rat one is. Yes, you dream in full color, and many are weird recaps of your day, Javine. Yes, I also dream in full color. There's something as a. I think that was in the movie. Did you ever see the movies Oh God? Oh God, Book 1, Oh God, Book 2, Oh
No.
God, You Devil?
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, do you know who George Burns is?
Nope.
Okay. So, there was a movie series, very popular.
Alert me, oh professor.
Yeah, well, you know John Denver.
Yes.
In his major acting,
Debut? Or...
I'm not sure if it was his debut, but he was the lead actor in this movie, Oh God. And it was George Burns who plays God.
Okay.
And I think that was one of the things that he says to John Denver is, because he was saying, John Denver wasn't really believing this was God. He said, this must be a dream. And he says, do you normally dream in color? He says, no, I dream in black and white. What color is my shirt? Whatever, it's red. I'm real. So,
Interesting.
anyway, so George Burns is this old comedian especially from the radio days and early days of television. He always had a cigar that he was smoking, and so that was kind of his bit. But anyway, Oh God, I'm not sure if they're great movies, but there was Oh God Book 2, and Oh God, You Devil, where George Burns plays both God and the devil.
Yes,
So,
it's
and that one,
problematic.
I think, wait, is that right? I think that's right. Yeah. And I forget who the second movie starred, if it was anybody. Oh, that was, which one was the musician? I don't know, it's not important. But anyway, the Oh God movies. Yeah.
You know, that's interesting that the same character would play both of the both God and the evil one. It's interesting because often sometimes maybe people sometimes see God and the devil as like these eternal enemies, as these like equal forces, but we don't believe that at all in the church.
Right, exactly.
Right? God is all-powerful, omnipotent, omniscient. He knows all things. He can do all things. And the devil is his enemy in a certain way, but he's not an equal force on the other side. That's a Manichaean worldview.
Right.
That's this idea that there are two powers, the power of good, the power of evil, and they're at war with each other. Rather, the devil is a creation who was an angel who fell.
Right.
And so he's got all the angelic powers, what would be proper to an angel, just like we have human powers that's proper to being human. We can think, we can act, we can move. Angels have their own powers. So he's got all those, and he was a particularly powerful angel. But we don't believe that the angels and the devil and God are like these eternal enemies that are always...
Right.
God wins because God
wins.
is greater. And the devil is his enemy, and he's far, 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 far weaker. I mean, he's weaker by an infinite level. As I've talked about before, there's an infinite distance between us and God. And there's an infinite distance between the angels and God also. We always have to keep that in mind.
Right.
That anytime that we want to discuss these things, we always have to keep that infinite gap between God and man, or God and his creation.
And I often recommend when people are talking about, they're feeling tempted by the devil or whatever, well, call upon God because he wins every time. And I think people are overwhelmed by the devil's all power, they got all this power. It's like he's got no power compared to God. Just call upon God and he'll win. So I think we have to be careful sometimes about blaming things on the devil. Now we don't want to. I mean, he does have powers. He is an angel, right? But so we don't want to go to him, but we have the power and the grace of God at our side to call upon, and don't fall into the trap of thinking I can do nothing because the devil made me do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, God is more powerful than the devil.
Mm-hmm. I tell people in confession sometimes, you can never sin if you're saying the name of Jesus.
Right.
I mean, now you can technically. I'm not saying that strictly speaking, but I mean, if you're invoking the name of Jesus and you're saying, "Jesus help me, Jesus help me, Jesus help me," in the moment, I fully believe if you're putting your faith in Him, He will give you the strength to resist whatever temptation that you're battling.
Yeah, I've recommended that many times. If we're struggling with any kind of temptation, just call upon the name of Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. For me, it has worked 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm struggling with whatever kind of sin or temptation, calling upon the name of Jesus, it works. So I dare you to call upon the power of God, and it's real. It's real. So do it.
There's a great old book by St. Athanasius. It's called Life of Antony. So it's about St. Anthony of the Desert. And so he was one of the first monks, basically, kind of like one of the founders of kind of the monastic lifestyle. And so this book goes through his life, of course, but he was just like assailed by the devil. Like you see all these like almost horrifying just kind of encounters and conflicts with the devil, but St. Anthony, he always calls on the Lord. And yeah, there's a lot of just like really good advice in that book. So, and it's pretty short too. It's only about like 120 pages or so, maybe not even that. So it's a good recommendation from me. But
it's a great read. I love that. It's one of the foundations, really, of the spiritual life. And what's beautiful about the idea of encountering and attacking the Desert Fathers, particularly Evagrius Ponticus, talks about. I know this name because I wrote part of my thesis on him, so that's part of why I know that. I don't have like this encyclopedic knowledge of all the Desert Fathers, but Evagrius, he talks about engaging in contrarethikos, which means contrary thoughts. So whenever you have one of the evil thoughts into your mind, and he saw the vices, what we call the capital vices. What we call the capital vices, he saw them as evil thoughts in a certain way. And so whenever you have the evil thoughts into your mind, you've got to push them out with contrary thoughts, thoughts of that which is good, the certain type of thought that will help to counteract that particular temptation. Contrarethikos or antirethikos or something like that. It's called. And I think that's a good thing to keep in mind, because we have to think about what temptation is. And to do that, you have to look at what the human person is, how we're made up. We have an intellect, we have a will, we have our passions. And the intellect is how we think, and we have an image. We have our will, and that moves us to a good thing. So when you have a good image, our will is naturally attracted to it. And then we have the passions, and those move us towards sensible goods. So I see ice cream, and the passion of love.
You and your ice cream.
I
Every
know.
single time.
Well, it's a perfect example, because who doesn't love ice cream?
This guy.
Well, you know what?
It's not a perfect example.
It is the perfect example. So, why would you change perfection? So, as you said earlier,
This coffee is perfetto.
Or iced soy milk, I suppose you can do.
That sounds awful.
That sounds
as
terrible.
well.
But you can, you have that movement, and it's that these passions are moving you forward to sensible objects. So what you want to do in the midst of temptation is you want to distract all three in a certain way with something that's good. You want to put a good image in your mind, which is putting in your intellect something that's good, and you want it to be so strongly good that your will is able to move to it, even though it might be attracted by something evil at that point. So an image of Jesus, perhaps something, if the sin could hurt your family or something, like think about the good of your family, and then your will hopefully will move to it. And then your passions, you want to move your passions away from them too, and you do that by presenting a good object that moves your whole person. So, ice cream is life. Thank you very much. I'm getting so much hate here, and so, no, I'm not. They're just teasing. Don't worry. I'll only cry a little bit later. But
okay.
that's what we want to be doing. This contrarethikos, this antirethikos, putting a good thought in our mind. That way, we can counteract the evil thoughts that are coming into mind.
Good.
Mhm.
That's good. Very
Mhm.
good stuff there.
Always think about how the human person is made up. We can never, if we don't have a good concept of who we are, we'll never have a good concept of
Mhm.
where we're going and how to get us there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Intellect, will, and passions.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Very good. You know, I took a class on the Desert Fathers and Mothers back at Monthly.
Really?
Yeah. And I was a little underwhelmed by the Desert Fathers and Mothers. I heard great things about the Desert Fathers and Mothers. Maybe I need to revisit them.
I think you need to revisit them.
Maybe.
They're pretty great. The
Uh,
sayings of the Desert Fathers, you could almost do. How would you say this? There's almost nothing in more you need than a lot of the sayings.
See,
of the
that's what I
Desert
heard. And then I
Fathers.
read all these, and maybe I just need to revisit. Maybe I wasn't ready for them because I'm spiritually immature, I suppose, and
I don't know about that,
even more so 20 years ago or whatever. But I might just not been ready. I mean, sometimes we read things like maybe I need to read The Lord of the Rings again because maybe I just wasn't ready for it. Maybe I just wasn't at a level that I could
Right.
accept it.
Mhm.
So maybe I need to revisit it. I will admit that.
Well-
But that's true with so many things. People
Yeah.
say that, about some people might say that about like the mass or the readings at mass or whatever. Like I've gone to mass for years and I never heard it before. Well, you might not have been ready for it. You might just not
Yeah.
have resonated at that
Mm.
time or whatever.
And really, that's actually part of what my thesis is about. My thesis, which was on boredom, and that we've got to train ourselves in order to not grow bored in a certain way. We've got to train ourselves to reach more deeply into who we are, rather than leaving on the surface superficial experiences. Because if
Sure.
your passions, and it's a little more complex than that than when I'm presenting it, but if your passions are attuned to sensible things constantly, then you're never going to be able to go into the deeper and more fulfilling things,
Mhm.
but that take a little bit more work. So the example is if a 14-year-old boy, he's presented with the good of perhaps great theology, or some great literature, maybe math. He's presented with something in school that's really fantastic, but he wants to go skateboarding constantly. So he's constantly thinking about skateboarding or whatever the kids do these days, that ripstick or whatnot. He's thinking about those things, which seem like they're terribly dangerous. Anyways, if his passions are more attuned constantly to doing the sensible thing, then it's going to be really hard for him to enter into the more deep thing.
Right.
So he has to train himself, and we have to help train him or her. Pardon me, it can be male or female, because we're half male and female. I mean, but we've got to help to train our youth to train their passions to be open to not lower objects. That's actually not higher
Deeper.
objects, deeper objects. Yeah, higher
Yeah.
objects, deeper things. And when we say, "Oh well, I'm bored," it's because we haven't really partially trained ourselves to be able to enter into the more deeper things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've talked about that with like healthy eating or exercise. It's kind of the same principle that the more appealing is the more superficial. Or like pop music. I mean, there's a reason pop music is popular because it's very superficial and it doesn't go very deep. And there's a reason that fewer people like classical music or jazz, which have more layers and deeper, richer things going on that you have to train yourself to appreciate and like. And so, yeah, I think that, or even like beautiful church music or whatever. Sometimes people want kind of the superficial poppy stuff, and going deeper. So the initial thing is, I don't want to do that. That sounds so weird or whatever. But going deeper, we have to train ourselves for that. So, so like any good discipline, we train ourselves to appreciate these deeper, greater things.
Exactly. I find the concept of how superficial pop music is really fascinating, because we all enjoy some element of pop music. It's fun. But once you actually look at what's going on musically, it is so bland. Most pop music.
Yeah.
I remember watching a whole video about something that somebody kind of discovered in popular music today. They called the millennial woe. The millennial woe, and it's when you go from fifth to third, something like that. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh, oh. And he found it in like 15 songs that were popular. And it was just this, oh, and there's no creativity with it. So I'm just putting that thing in there, and it's comfortable, it's popular, and because of that, it makes it into the mainstream. They call it millennial woe, I think.
Or you see those videos of like the 3-chord wonders where you can play
Yeah.
like 2,000 different songs with just these 3 chords or whatever. And it's, yeah. Now, again, I think pop music has its place. I'm not, I like popular music and everything, and it's fun. But we're also challenged to maybe not end there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. I think we can all say there's pop music we enjoy. But if you don't dive down deeper or train yourself to appreciate more things, and you're losing a lot of the richness of music.
Right. I mean, all of us like desserts, but if you make your whole diet desserts, you're not going to go away satisfied. You're not going to be healthy, right? So, but I love ending a meal with a chocolate chip cookie or a ice cream or something that kind of tops off the meal for me, right? But I don't want to make my entire meal cookies. Now, I have done that before, but it's not. I don't recommend it. So, like having that balance of like really good meaty stuff with something kind of frou-frou-y and something just kind of top it off is a good balance and a good meal over life. If we have like the plate of our lives, which sections you're supposed to have vegetables, and you're supposed to have your protein. You're supposed to have, so we could do that with our life too. And we tend to overemphasize things that we should not be overemphasizing.
So you know how I counteract this? I recite my Latin declensions while I'm riding my skateboard.
Yes.
Us, e, o, e, orum, is, os, is, e, aurum, is, as, is.
You've heard weird things on the show before, but that's up there with birds aren't real.
First of all, I don't skateboard. Not at all.
Second of all, I don't do Latin declensions. So
Well, I do Latin declensions, but
no, me.
Oh. Okay. You don't want to see me skateboard.
Javine said that their girls want to know who priest confessed to. Well,
Other priests.
other priests.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't confess to each other here.
No.
I think there's some sort of law or something about that, is right? Or it's imprudent or something.
Yeah, it would be crossing the internal-external forum in a certain way, which
Sure.
is what we call how we protect certain boundaries of confession versus private conversations.
Now, I just went to confession on Tuesday, because I was way overdue. I try to go about once a month and more if I can. But my once a month is but it'd been a long time. It'd been, I think, pre-quarantine, because I realized I had not seen a live priest for.
Normally it's pretty easy because we are all doing confessional events.
Sure,
So you can just
yeah.
be like, hey, Father Joel, will you hear my confession? And we're like, yeah, sure. So we just stop over there, go to confession, and run off. But when you're not seeing priests and we're the ones doing confessions, you can
And
talk.
we have kind of often the same hours too, and we're not really supposed to get out, so it was hard. Like, we had the Wednesday confessions, but all the priests had the Wednesday confessions. Like, when am I going to go, so
Yeah.
but anyway, great to go to confession, and great to have that lifted off of my soul. And so I just called up one of my priest friends and said, hey, I need to get to confessions. Because one of the things was I was expecting to go at the Chrism Mass last Friday, because that was one of those events that it's coming up. I will catch a priest before or after the Chrism Mass. But then it wasn't, and then we didn't have it. So it's like, I cannot wait till next Friday. I gotta go. So so I try to go. So I go to my spiritual director about once a month, once every 6 weeks or whatever, and I go there, and then if possible, I try to go once in between those sessions too. So that's my general thing. So. But confession's a beautiful sacrament, and I'm happy that I was finally able to go again. But I had not seen a live priest. We got a live one here. Briefly, Father Anthony Mersman, who was here, and then Father Scott Walsh had a baptism a month and a half ago or so. I saw him there. Other than that, the only contact I've had with other priests is via Zoom.
Yeah.
And a little bit on the phone. But
Right.
so
I went to confession to Father Anthony Merson.
Oh, did
He was
you?
here, yeah. Right after ordination, I said, hey, bud, now that you can do this.
That's great.
very good.
I know,
I thought about that too,
Yeah.
because I was like, grab you, but
some people find it. I know some priests who say they don't really like going to their priest friends. I love going to my priest friends
Mm-hmm.
because I find the conversations to be really real then
Mhm.
and helpful because
Yeah.
they know me really well then.
Yeah, I can too. I sometimes am a little bit cautious about that, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just I don't necessarily. Yeah. I mean, mostly, yeah, but I often go to people that I'm not like really close friends with,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but that I get along with, or part of my priest prayer group or something, that because you don't want to, because there is that seal of confession, and I don't want to put the burden of them trying to, keep the separation of. Did we talk about this in confession, or did we talk about this when we were sitting out on the deck?
Right.
And so, for their sake, I do try to keep it a little bit to those that I might
Have a
little bit more separation with.
Mhm.
That's something I do sometimes. So, yeah, like I can say, he can't say, but I went to Father Scott Wallish, and so pretty good friends with him at St. Jeff, but we don't run around a whole lot and hang out.
Yeah.
So but he knows me enough that it was good to have that conversation. So.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you seen Dead Ones? 'Cause you
Live-
said I have
live
not
priests,
seen live.
yeah.
I don't think we've seen any Dead Priests either. Have we?
Well, we have a couple that buried downstairs.
You weren't supposed to mention that.
Arsenic and old lace.
Exactly.
It's getting weird again. Yeah. It was very challenging not to see the buddies. I think we're all struggling with that to not get together. Now we did get together a little bit on Zoom and stuff, but
Mhm.
like the rest of us, it's not the same. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was fortunate for a while there, or maybe unfortunate. I'm not sure, because I was with my friends up until May 1st. So, but that's all. I only saw the same 16 guys for 2.5 months or however long it was. So.
Right.
It was good, but hard. Yes.
Yeah. So it's good to get out and good to see other people and everything. All right. Do you have any other questions for us, or any other things that you want to ask us on our final Friday fireside? Final Friday. And so again, we'll be back on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I will be here Monday through Thursday.
Oh, why doesn't John like ice cream?
I think I'm lactose intolerant. I don't really know, but sometimes I power through.
We really try to be tolerant of all.
I am
people.
intolerant
All
of
sugars, all proteins.
You're so intolerant, John.
Also, I just don't like the way it tastes and feels. So.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, some people like that. I like when I have birthday parties. I'm weird. I don't like my cake touching my ice cream.
Yeah, no, big no.
I'm okay with that.
My family teases me incessantly, but the cake.
The cake gets a weird texture.
The cake gets soggy, and I don't
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
I like keeping those two things. So I always get 2 plates, or I get a plate and I eat my cake first, or my ice cream first, and then I get a cake or whatever. So I probably do cake first, and then because a couple of crumbs of cake in the ice cream, that's fine.
Mhm.
But I don't want to eat a soggy cake. I don't like that.
Soggy cake. That sounds like a phrase the kids would use. Man, that's soggy cake right there.
That's soggy cake, right? That,
We should have called
we
it.
should start using that and just see if it catches on.
Yeah, exactly.
When someone says,
Hey guys.
That's so wizard,
what?
Annie.
That's a deep cut right
That
there.
was good. Oh man.
That's some soggy cake, right? So what's that in reference to? Is that something is
A wet blanket? Or, that was a big thing for a while. No, you're a wet blanket. my 8th grade friends used to say that to each other. Hey man, stop being wet blanket. Because you're putting out the fire.
No.
Get it? Wet blanket?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So,
Speaking about putting out the fire, maybe that's that time.
I don't know.
It's about-
One last... What is it from Mean Girls where it's like, that's never going to be a
Stop
thing.
trying to make fetch a thing.
Fetch thing. Yeah,
It's
that's so
fetch,
fetch
right?
guy. Stop trying to make fetch a thing.
What is that?
Fetch isn't a thing.
That mean? What do you say?
From
It's
Mean
Mean
Girls.
Girls.
Yeah,
I've seen
sorry.
I don't normally mind my food touching. Actually, I usually am fine just combining, except for Thanksgiving. Everything can touch except for the cranberry sauce has to stay separate from the rest. But everything else mixing in, great. No, you don't like your food touching?
I don't mind it touching, just not all mixed in.
Well, no, I'm not like stirring it up on the plate.
Because I've seen that. I think my sister does that sometimes.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
No, I just like
Stresses me out.
if I happen to have like a fork full of stuffing and mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah,
that's okay.
no, that's
okay.
that's
Well,
totally
that-
okay for
that's
Thanksgiving.
Totally fine, yeah, to mix those two together. My question: do you guys eat your foods individually? Because I pick out one, then I eat all the peas, then I eat all the mashed
It
potatoes.
depends. If
and
I
then
don't like the
use that.
food,
yeah,
No.
and then I eat like the main meal.
if I
No,
don't
no,
like
no.
the food, I'll eat it first, and then
Yeah.
I can get to the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like a variety of flavors going on in my mouth. So I'll eat the chicken. I'm like, oh, that was a great flavor. And then I'll eat the beans. I'm like, oh, that was a great flavor too.
Mhm.
So I like variety.
It's strange. I don't know why I do it.
Yeah,
Mhm,
I don't
but-
know why that is strange.
I don't like leaving just a little bit of food. I want to eat all of it and its friends. Then I eat the next friend. then I eat the next.
No friend left behind.
Exactly.
So we didn't start the fire. It was always burning. I don't.
Ryan started the fire.
I don't have any thoughts about the Starbucks finally coming around with BLM messaging because I haven't seen
Know
that,
anything
so I don't know
about that,
anything
yeah.
about it. So, yeah, I don't know what they're doing yet. But I guess my thought without knowing anything is I don't put too much stock in the any messaging of Starbucks. So
Yeah.
it doesn't. People get all upset about the Christmas cup or whatever, or
Right.
Merry.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I think we have to be careful too to presume in a lot of these companies whether or not their messaging is what we would like or not like. I think we should not put too much stock in a lot of their messaging because it may seem virtuous, but it's also a good business decision.
Yeah.
A
Right.
lot of them too. So, I see a lot of these coming in. And it's like, this razor that I use. This company I bought a razor from 3 years ago. Wants to talk to me about the current crisis. It's like, okay, thank you. I think we should be careful about confusing convenient advertising with social messaging.
Absolutely, we should. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't really have any thoughts about it because I haven't seen what they're doing, and but yeah, I am always wary about any business is there to
It's a
make money.
business,
That's what their purpose is. Or like, I mean, and newspapers too. We have to be cautious with newspapers and websites. They're all there to get advertising, and I mean, the newspaper needs to sell papers, and so what's going to sell paper? Sometimes it's a controversial issue. It's the ones that talk about the Catholic Church in a bad light. Those tend to sell really well, or people click on those links because whoa, what's going on now? What's the new scandal? So we have to always be a bit cautious. I mean, it's good. I want good journalism, but we always have to be a little bit cautious. I think of any of those things that newspapers are out to sell money, websites are out to sell advertising, sell money, make money.
No, that's okay.
Sell
I
papers,
was just
make
imagining
money.
that like
Yeah.
box of $100 bills right here, $50.
All right, so I think that does it for today, and hopefully we'll see you on Monday, and look forward to an almost full week of Fireside next week. So thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day.
Ciao.
God bless.
So I need to. You keep waving. You're doing great. Keep waving. Now. What's our closing song?
Closing time.